Hey everybody, it's Lear from Lear Gaming, and in today's Tiny Tina's Wonderlands patch update, we're going to be talking about all the latest information with this new patch. We're going to be having some new updates, some new changes that were supposed to be fixed last week, and there's some ominous writing about a potential nerf to the Livewire. Let's talk all about this and all the other details right now. Right, guys, I'm going to jump right into things. Let's start with the weekly rotation changes. So the armor up in-game limited time mini event is still live. This is a really cool one where the chance for armor dropping has been increased, and it looks like it's going to continue running for another week. There's an update to the Chaos Chambers featured run. Now what we're going to have here, it looks like the new version is going to feature Parasite and Mike, formerly known as Mushroom Healer. Get ready to take on a new cursed run in the Chaos Chamber. Now, a couple quick change notes. It looks like they plugged a hole in Brighthoof that was allowing Fate Makers to get into unintended areas. So I didn't get to test that, but that's interesting. And then they found an adjustment to frost damages were not included properly last week. So that was a major part of the notes, and apparently they didn't adjust properly. But now, if you're wondering why your cold damage wasn't scaling properly, it should be with today's changes. Now, let's talk about probably the most controversial, potentially, conversation here. And this has to do with the major upcoming gear adjustment to Livewire. So I'm going to directly read what the developers are saying. So, regarding the Livewire, we are looking to change the way this weapon deals damage when doing melee attacks. For context, Livewire takes the damage of the outgoing melee hit and scales it by your remaining max ammo. This is a bit arcane and, more importantly, difficult to balance. We want the weapon to be strong, but it should be doing a balanced amount of damage based on its item level rather than using the melee hit itself. The intention would be that faster melee weapons are also a desirable choice, not just the hardest hitting ones. Unfortunately, we cannot hotfix this issue. We'll have to be added in a future update. So it sounds like they're going to normalize the damage. You see this a lot in MMOs like World of Warcraft, where the damage for abilities is normalized across weapons. Back in the old early 2000s, people would only want slow hitting weapons because the abilities would basically hit based on your max damage or your max kind of average damage. And this looks like it's going to be the same direction we're going to be going here most likely. Will it be beneficial? Will it be a nerf? I think it's going to be a nerf for kind of min-maxed weapons as are currently intended. However, we may now have a larger variety of weapons that you could use with the Livewire active. So it's good to hear that they're not going to completely eliminate the Livewire interaction of melee, but your mileage may vary. If you're a hardcore min-maxer, you may be disappointed. All right, now let's take a look at the other changes. Increase the Blazing Volley's damage scaling by 15.4%. And now Blazing Volley can now roll with barrel mod parts. This will not affect current version of the weapon, so you got to reroll them. Increased Wizard Pipe's damage scaling by 57.5%. I never used this, so I'm curious to see if this can be good now. Increased Shadowfire's damage scaling from 1.2 to 1.5. Increased the Shadowfire status effect chance by 200%. Now I don't know what its base chance is. This 200% is always deceiving. Because if like it was a 2% and then they increase it by 200%, it's now 6%. That's a lot difference if the base percent was, let's say, 10% and goes to 30% or even higher. So again, I don't like it when they just throw out these huge percentages, but this could be potentially good. The ice balls that spawn when throwing Boreas Breath should now have a much easier time finding enemies, so that's good. Fragment Rain's base damage is now treated as if it were an SMG instead of a shotgun. This results in a roughly 30% damage increase. This is a rough number, as base damage is different from damaging scaling, which makes sense. So let's see if people find some broken builds based off this buff. Increased Heck Waiter's damage scaling by 8.3%. Increases throwable hold damage scale by 40%. I believe this is a new weapon that was introduced recently. I haven't played with it, but increases damage scaling a decent amount, and increase the throwable holes area damage scaling by 91.6%. Again, never a huge fan of these percentages, but because it depends on the base scaling. But if they have a decent base scale, then these could be very significant buffs. And then finally, Heckwater's secondary fire mode now properly respects damage scaling. Was not probably scaling before, so this sounds like it's going to be quite a bit better. So are your weapons that you like to use in your current builds here, are they being impacted? Is this helping you out? What are your thoughts on these buffs? Also, what are your thoughts on the Livewire potential changes? Are you excited about this? Do you think this is disappointing? Let me know in the comments below. As always, to support the channel, drop a like, drop a comment. I do read all the comments and try and respond as best I can. And as always, guys, I will go ahead and see you guys in the next video.